Society wants you to be broke. So keep doing this and I guarantee you the rest of your life, you're gonna be broke. What is up, guys? In this video, we're gonna be talking about how money actually works and why just letting it sit in a bank is one of the worst things that you can possibly do. And yes, I said that money isn't working for you in a bank. Let me actually explain why that is, because the numbers just simply don't lie. It's simple economics that inflation raises the prices of everything by about 3% every single year. So for example, if you had like a tube of toothpaste, if it costs $1 at the beginning of the year on January 1st, that same tube of toothpaste is going to cost $1.03 at the end of December of that same year. That means that at the end of the year, if you had $1 in the bank, you would have only $1.03 of a cent. So you can see that inflation went literally 100 times faster than you actually appreciated your money by letting it sit in a quote unquote safe bank account. Now tell me, how does that make any sense? So when you actually look at the numbers, putting your money in a bank account, it's actually depreciating in value relative to the inflation of the actual country's currency. So if a tube of toothpaste costs $1, at the end of the year it's $1.03, and that same dollar, if you left it in a bank account, would be worth less than the dollar's value on the open market. So literally, when you think about it, leaving your money in a bank, you're actually losing money. And some of you guys might be saying, okay, Kevin, but that's, Chase and Bank of America and the big banks. And that's true. There are online banks that do offer, around 2% interest to leave your money in a savings account in an online bank. And they can do that because they don't have any physical locations. They have a lot less employees and overhead and things like that. You're still only making 2% when inflation is going up 3%. So let's say that you have $1 million. If you left that in a bank, you would literally be losing, $20,000 or even $30,000 in the quote unquote safe bank account investment, because you'd be losing money relative to inflation, because you'd only be earning, a fraction of a percent, leaving your money in a safe bank account. And so if you ask me, the first rule of investing should definitely be, don't invest in something that you know for sure is going to lose $20,000 or $30,000. It doesn't matter how much money you have saved in the bank, right? You're still going to be losing money to depreciation and to the opportunity cost of allowing inflation to actually appreciate at a faster percentage than the amount you're saving from interest, leaving your money in a bank account. But that brings up an interesting point, right? Why has society taught us to do this? Why have banks taught us to do this and leave our money in a safe savings account? Well, the reason that banks have, spread this propaganda and they're teaching people to do this is because banks do something called fractional lending. And essentially what fractional lending means is only a certain percentage of actual cash deposits are backed by real cash from the bank. And what this allows banks to do is continue to loan your money again and again and again to all these different people, all of whom, they're earning money on their investments with. So banks are allowing you to keep your money in savings account where it's going to depreciate and lose value. And then those banks are turning around, taking that same money and then investing that money and making hundreds of millions of dollars doing it, lending it to person after person after person, and then earning interest on that actual money. So if you think about it, these same banks that are spending tens of billions with a B, billions of dollars every single year advertising to get people to actually put their money in the quote unquote safe savings account. The reason that they're doing that is because they're making a return on their investment, right? They're investing tens of billions of dollars into advertising to continue to make people put their money into savings accounts where those people like you and me are losing money, just so those banks can go around and fractionally lend, that same money to hundreds, if not thousands of different people, and then make an absolute fortune by doing it and investing that money. And so if you don't want to live like the majority and just kind of be brainwashed and do the things you're supposed to do, what does this actually mean for you? It means you're going to have to take risks, calculated risks, and doing your research before you take those risks, but you have to take risks. If you don't, you're doing the biggest risk of all, which is knowing that you're going to lose money for sure. And taking risk, what does that actually mean, right? It does mean that it's possible for for you to fail, but every entrepreneur in the world who is incredibly successful failed at their businesses. I can promise you that. But for every failure, there's also a success, right? Every failure that I have in my life, I learn from. I don't think of it as failure. I think of it as feedback. And the more feedback that I get, the more I'm able to make better decisions and actually create the life that I want, and build, a massive amount of wealth, and more importantly, happiness. So what I recommend you do is to reverse engineer what you want in life, right? Don't let society dictate what you're supposed to do. Look at somebody that you admire, somebody that you consider successful, who is truly happy, and then reverse engineer how they did it, right? Don't always just listen to what people are saying. Look at what people are doing. If people are making YouTube videos and they have a life that you like, maybe you need to start making YouTube videos, right? But at the end of the day, the only person who can create the life that you want is you, right? Nobody can do it for you. You have to do the research. You have to put the work in. You have to go through the struggle to get the things that you want, and nothing in life comes easy, right? The best things in life take real hard work. And so my advice to you would be go out and find somebody who's doing it, right? Somebody that you look up to, somebody that's successful and has the things that you want, reverse engineer it and get started doing the same things that they're doing. And sooner or later, you are gonna get to that same place that they're at. Because society doesn't want you to join the 1%. That's just the actual truth. You have to fight and you have to take what you deserve in this life. And doing the opposite of what society and what most people are telling you sometimes is the best thing that you can possibly do. So what I recommend is that you question everything, right? Do your own research and formulate your own opinions. And that is one of the best ways that you can possibly get ahead in life. And so if you want to learn more about investing, what I recommend you do is checking out this video right here, where I break down the best strategies that a complete beginner can use to start investing, even if you have very, very little money to start. We're gonna be talking about Warren Buffett, AKA the stock market king. We're gonna talk about the strategies that he actually advises and he recommends